G'day fellow creatures of the internet, this is the most musty Argonian here on YouTube, Bruzo Dragonius, and I'd like to welcome you to the homeland of my species, or what they prefer to say people, Black Marsh. I'm right here in the southernmost area of Black Marsh, Murkmire. So, I'll show you how I got here.
So here we are, the southernmost province of Black Marsh, where I took a cultural excursion, learned some more about my Argonian kin. My earthling side want me to say my species, but my sexual conscience rather call them my people. And it's a coincidence that it's obvious that I'm talking about Murkmire, saying it's the title of the video, my intro to this video, and most likely the thumbnail that you have clicked on said that is what the video is about. Anyway, as I were off to do some training in Planet Nern at the Red Mountain, as I was approached by an imperial woman who founded the Serial Collection agency named Concordia Mercius, who alongside such a very cute Argonian partner of hers, Gila, to first of all retrieve the cursed skull of Bilakar, which, as a matter of fact, is an ancient Argonian artefact that is said to be the exact skull of a shaman of my possible ancestry called Bilakar, that is said to be cursed for some reason and turned out as a jewel of a shrunken head of an Argonian made out of gold. You see, the Serial Collections Agency are founded for the goal of retrieving and returning lost Argonian artifacts to Black Marsh to be exhibited at their museum in Lilmoth, the village that is the capital of Murkmire and the only one that has no history. But it's not a walk in the park, as we had to race against the blackguards to retrieve them by any means necessary, even resorting to fighting them to death. Not to mention that I had to interview various links to the skull that are mostly Argonians themselves and other people that knows about the artifact itself. Also, investigated certain Zunmi for clues to the skull and also fight ghoulies of all sorts to get to it. Not to mention witness the death of some idiot that messed with the skull. But I helped retrieve it with Gila helping me. I am the main one, as always, that did the fighting, but it's not like I mind it. Concluding that quest, I got rewarded to take part in the other expedition of Murkmire to search for and retrieve for what I thought as another artifact of my ancestry called the Remnant of Argon. That trip, I think, would help me learn more about my people and gives me a more bigger connection to the East, as what my own people back in Argonia referred to me as Alucleal, which means, in the native language of my species, that is gel, meaning in Argonian that is born and adapted to a non-Argonian culture, which is me in one word. Before we set off to Murkmire, I ended up being set to do monotonous side quests involving hunting for mammoth for their meat in Skyrim and buy some salt from the Nord. While I was there, recruiting a priestess of Arcade that could predict the weather on the journey, as well as the destination is unpredictable as Zeus, from what I heard. I also had to search for some lizard in a harsh desert climate of Elakia that can digest poisons that can even kill Argonians, as it's a part of this particular lizard's diet. And had to go on an ancient agency recruitment campaign all over Tamriel that is more of a tourism campaign instead for Murkmire, because it involves putting up posters and dance. I'm not much of a dancer, I'm more of a Rilka, meaning warrior. As I landed into Lilmoth, I met a fellow Lucleal, but a female named Cassandra, and Concordia's sister, that is the other half of the founders of the Serial Collection named Farmia. We at the the collections couldn't catch a break with these damn blackguards as they pursued for that relic that brought to bring destruction to all native tribes of Murkmire. In fact, we had to fight them, retrieve the remnant for study purposes as well as originally a display exhibit piece for the museum. Through my time in Murkmire, I met some heaps interesting people that, as well as other Argonians, that I'm honoured to be called a beaker, which is Joe for a friend, or mate in a good old true blue Australian slang. One of which is a dear friend of Farmia and an actual descendant of a peace-loving and friendly black throat tribe named Zukas. And I met another breed of my species I haven't seen before, and it looks odd to me as they look more like fish, snake, human hybrids that are Nagas. Oh, I'm sorry to seem offensive to you Nagas, as I know of a tribe of you in Deadwater Village. It's interesting culture, as they seem to be of a war-oriented breed or race of Argonian. Like, I know how some of you explain things on the way you feel. I fear that you would comment on things like, I clench my fist, you racist piece of you old piece of chaos, Bruzo. You Nagas are awesome though, especially Jurassic Gorn, who I chose to sacrifice to the remnant instead of Zukas to look after the souls of the old Root Whisperer tribe that was once killed by the Aliens. I wish I didn't have to choose and instead volunteered myself, as I'd rather do that than choosing who lives and who dies. They didn't want me sacrificed as I seemed to be the hero of Nirn, and I'm yet needed to protect the universe from dangers to come, especially in Nirn. And to you 248 loyal subscribers plus of mine don't deserve to grieve my death just yet. That is what I hate about my adventures of being forced to put someone else's blood in my hands through choice alone. Which reminds me to one thing of what I also did in the process of searching for the remnant, and that is I had to go into the Dreaming Nest, which I had to enter via a cave that's called the Swallowed Grove, or the Cave of Dreams to what natives call it. That it is full of Argonian undead skeletons, zombies, and plasmic corpses. I even have to face plasms themselves, which are literally killer green blobs. More like the Cave of Nightmares to some I met, including the two of my travelling dim-witted acquaintances, Lady Laurent, and he's more of a bigger idiot servant that is the only dry skin that participated in the renewal ritual that is Stevens, seeing that he ends up turning into the egg similar to the one I came out of. I guess that he'll end up looking most likely an Argonian hatchling, like I was, instead of a Breton like his slaver, Laurent, next time I meet him. With me, I'll leave to brave the worst case scenarios. While I was in the Dreaming Nest, I had to participate in some ritual to find more about where the remnant actually is, and usually me that has to be a guinea pig for it. Because the ritual is more of an experiment to learn more of the artefact origins, which I'm obliged to, as I went into some sort of state of mind similar to the protagonist of Assassin's Creed goes through in almost every single sequel of the game made by Ubisoft. If you played Assassin's Creed and got the DLC extension, which is Murkmire, by waiting 28 days through November, or be impatient enough to spend all your crowns, or worse, your real world money and made it to that quest, you found the similarities of the two. So either way, good on ya. And if you play ESO, as it's so worth it either way, even if you don't play nor a fan of my species that are the Argonian people. In case you don't, I am so sorry for the spoilers, but I ended up being in the memory of what's possibly one of my ancient Saxon ancestors. From hunting down to some Romasu in the earlier times in Black Marsh, to being invaded by the aliens themselves, to protecting both the artifacts and the history from these ancient elven murderers. And then, and my new colleagues of serial killer collections ended up being betrayed by that bitch that is Cassandra, because, as we learned, that she is working for the Blackguards. And to think that I and Cassandra would make a good use of Beacons, or seeing that I'm wanting my channel to be PG rated, baby making partners to you that are not Argonians. Trivia for you. Translated to Jill, from Jill to English, it is nest friends. She was a crazy harlot with that thing in her possession, and I had to end up hunting her down and stopping her before she did any more with that thing. Even if I ended up killing her, which I did, regrettably. But I had no choice but to, and I feel a lot of pity for her and a lot of remorse for what I did. She was a Lucleo who was raised by the Imperials, and we knew by her name and that dress she wears that never had any connection to the Hist when she was alive, and that's all she wanted. She was in Murkmire to connect with her Argonian roots and be one with the Hist, but for some reason I feel bad for her. Like, I am in her shoes, and I know what it's like, but at least I managed to connect with the Hist back in Shadowfen. She never got to, but I could see her connecting to the Hist in the afterlife. And we did some other ritual in the Root Whisperers village, where we ended up being spiritually inside the remnant of Argon itself, and contacted the souls of the ancient tribe inside it. And that is where I ended up, unfortunately, ending my Naga friend's life that I just met in Murkmire. Besides the remnant of Argon, I fulfilled my other purpose of travelling to this new part of Black Marsh that I have not ever seen before. It's a little excursion I made to learn much more of my sexual heritage and biology. I was there because I wanted to learn firsthand about me, with which I came from. I came here as still a borderline Lucleo and full Ogel, meaning I'm not of Argonian native tongue or language. I learned a bit of sex ed of my species. I learned the native language of my people, as you can tell from this video, if you are familiar with the lore of Elder Scrolls, and more about the history of my species. Not to mention the culture of Argonians, and some of the tribes with their different beliefs through their histories. I learned all of that through different side quests I end up doing. I explored different landmarks of Murkmire, which is amazing. Seeing the native flora and fauna, that most are very dangerous and can and will kill you if you encounter them. Down to what my people know what to do in their leisure, and music instruments we as a race know to play and how they work. Like this strange musical instrument I seen bards at Lilmoth and Brightthroat Village play called a Vossel, which I at first thought was a theremin like device, but actually a cross between bagpipes and a piano. as you play it like a piano, but what actually makes the croaking sounds are actual live frogs of different breeds in these special chambers that are components of this device. It makes me wish I had the engineering skills and artistic talent to make a real working one here on Earth and play a couple of songs on it on a video on my YouTube channel. And do not worry, I will never intend to commit such animal cruelty through imprisoning actual frogs in the chambers, even to authenticate the instrument, even by appearance. Even though I helped an egg brother to make one to be exported out of Murkmire once, but it has to be of a group of certain breeds of frogs that are alien to planet Earth. I want to conclude this review by giving this DLC a rating of a full 10 jars of heap saps out of 10, simply as an Argonian who was there to unsuccessfully find out what tribe I descended from biologically and wanted to know more about the roots and customs of my race.
Is this thing on, do it look like that I'm in jail or something like that? Oh well, it's showing on me. So, that concludes my time in Murkmire. So please, comment down below whether, have you got Elder Scrolls Online? Did you end up waiting till 28 days into November just for that extension so you can get that for free? Or were you sucking in enough and pay your crowns or perhaps your real world money to get those crowns and decide to play the Murkmire DLC as it came out? Also, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you show it by pressing the like button, the thumbs up. I just re-enabled the ratings button, or being too. Most likely that I will enable the ratings button as the video comes out. If you do enjoy this content so far, or if you do want to support me on YouTube, or if you do enjoy my content, or at least see an Argonian making YouTube videos or some sort, and if you want to support me, oh, I think I said that, do yourself a favor and perhaps if you want to support me or something like that, by pressing the subscribe button down in the description below, and also press the notification bell icon. Also, the usual stuff is on the description below, like my other social media sites, and if you want to support me financially, and if you like those awesome shirts that's in my store, there's a link to that on the description below. Also, if you want to friend me on the PS4, as long as you have a PS4, my gamer tag is Bruzo21. Obviously shown in the middle of the video, as well as the end of my video, that it usually says flashing Bruzo21. You probably would see it. But anyway, this is a must-see Argonian, Bruzo Dragonius, saying that I'm signing off by saying thank you for watching. Thank you to my awesome subscribers. I encourage you to share this. Thank you for watching. You are each and every one of you I consider my beat girls, and each, I think, 249, hopefully 250 plus of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I love you all. You guys matter. You are so awesome. Oh, I think I'm pretty much repeating myself. And as always, I'm going to sign off by saying I love you. You know, I would entirely, make sure you get the Murkmire extension if you can. And as always, may the East guide you all. Bye for now. And cue the boss of sort music.
Souls of our dead, speak, hear the hiss, speak, hear the hiss, speak its words to me. From its sap we gain our life, By its judgment we and strive. Tribe and hist, sky and sun, all connected, all are one. All connected, all are one. Sitting beneath its swaying leaves, hearing its words within the breeze. Speak, hear the hist, speak, hear the hist, speak its words to me. Hear the hist, speak its words.